Okay, we're going to try to do a side-by-side here, the same stage from Sunday. So here's my run. I'll start it. I'm not super in love with that run, but that's what it was. Here's Tim. So I see a couple things here, a couple stage plan things, and a couple just execution things. Let's go back to the beginning. So I wrote out some of the splits and transitions here. You'll see in the beginning on Tim's, he starts on the two close targets on the right. He loads, he shoots these two real down low guys. And then there's three targets in the back, 10 or 12 yards away. No, probably farther than that, 12 or 15 yards away. And then the targets on the right, targets on the left, and targets in the back again. So first shot, he's a little slower than I was, loading to the close target. These green ones are his splits and transition between these close targets, same as here. So in those on those targets, we're pretty much the same. I got a little bit on him on the transition there. The biggest thing that jumps out to me is after he shot those close targets, the transition to the target in the back was an 80, whereas I'm drawing to that target in the back, so I'm cutting that out. And then my transitions between targets in the back was a 50, and then a 54, and then a 40 from this target to this close target, where you're using your draw to get to the close one. Then you have a long transition to the far one, a long transition to the far one, and another long transition to the one that's over here. So each of these, if you compare these to what I have in red, that's a whole bunch of time getting sucked up. So after the first 10 shots, here I'm 2 seconds ahead. Then on the load and retreat, honestly, I didn't really like how you ran backwards, but you did get your first shot off before me because I couldn't figure out how to get my gun in battery there. But here, kind of this backwards thing, I'd prefer you to do where you kind of load the gun over your shoulder and run with your toes pointing in that direction. Not that I'm the fastest guy in the world, but here you can see what I mean. I'm running towards that corner, gun's still downrange, but I'm heading that way a little bit more aggressively. If I could have figured out how to get my gun loaded on time, that would have been a lot better. This still seems awkward and not really aggressive. And then a stage plan thing here. I go right from the targets on the right straight to the left. So my transition from the left to the right, what did I say it was? Load and retreat, 1.6 from corner to corner. You're doing a load and doing the same transition, and yours is 2.47. So you're losing a bit of time there. And then that also means you have another reload to do later on. So on this stage, I shot, what was my plan? 10, 10, and 8. You shot 10, 6, 8, 4. So you can see how that splits it up a little bit more. So I load to the corner, and I'm just trying to keep my feet moving forward and get my load done so I can get to this target. That's the biggest thing here. Once I do this plan, all I know is I need to get my load done before I run past this target, so I can finish aggressively. And honestly, I didn't really move all that aggressively here. This is kind of blah, 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 getting into the corner. But I didn't have to do, well, for one, I didn't stop here at all. So if we go from here, still moving forward during the reload, you have to come to this corner, stop, I know you said you knew it was because you didn't get your load done in time, but came to this corner, had to stop. You're going forward. Now you have another load to do while you get into position. Look a little awkward there, and then fall out of the box. So you had that extra load to do here that I didn't have to do, and the stop position here, I think, really got you. Look back at the times here. What else did I note? Just the transitions between the targets on the left. Um, I'm getting you by 2/10 here, and then almost 3/10 here. So half a second just in between targets on the left, and that's something we can work on. That's something, basically wider Blake drills would help with that, plus doing it on the move. And then just noting here, my movement from after I shot this target to get into the corner and shoot the back one was 1.9. Your movement with the load is 3.2. So that extra load cost you, what, 1.3 seconds really? Um, Plus this one cost you 0.8. So add that all up, plus just a little bit of time loss in transitions, and the difference is what? We're at 4.4 and a quarter seconds basically, stage times between the two of us.